as A Court of Jealousy and Haters, Akatar Chapter 44, or, quote, Amarantha Chiropractic and Holistic Wellness Center.
What is that?
It's the title of an article.
So funny. Yeah, she's just cracking Feyre's back.
Yeah.
Just an adjustment gone wrong. Welcome back to the Book Reading Bitch Queens podcast. I'm Allie.
And I'm Sam. And this week we are looking at chapter 30 and 31. This is our training montage. We get some Cassian training and some little flirty moments with Rhys. We get a little breakthrough moment with Feyre where she starts to open up about her emotions. And then we get a little bit of insight to a night at Rita's. And then they get their invite from the summer court. So we are gearing up to go to summer. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We get some Azriel stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting stuff. So
it's the gearing up to go on summer vacation. Which is where I'm at, but a very different type of summer vacation than Feyre and Rhys are about to have. So
yeah. Let's see. So yeah, we start out in the ring, and you know, she's feeling weak as hell and not very strong at fighting. And
I kind of cringe on this first little paragraph. Cassian might have been cocky grins and vulgarity most of the time, but in the sparring ring in a rock-carved courtyard atop the House of Wind the next afternoon, he was a stone-cold killer. Like,
yeah, stone-cold killer is a little interesting.
It feels so like 90s wrestling. So it's just, yeah, it's got a weird vibe to it. Or it feels like a trailer narrative, like in a world where Cassian is mostly a cocky grins and vulgarity, he's a stone cold killer.
Yeah, like that's true. Yeah,
that's kind of what it feels like. Although maybe I have a career in trailer narrating, but yeah. I don't have a whole lot until we start to get to the next page, really.
Yeah, my first comment was Azriel broody.
Yeah. So
I was wondering about that.
I made a note where it says Azriel surprisingly had returned from the moral realm by lunch. Moore had intercepted him first, already suspicious. But I'd gotten a secondhand report from Rhys that he'd found some sort of barrier around the Queen's palace and had needed to return to assess what might be done about it. And I'm just trying to keep tabs on the stuff, right? And I mean, not that I think that Azriel would ever lie, but it's like, I don't know. He goes there and like was more waiting for him to like talk to him right away, be like, what's going on with the queens?
It's a weird detail to randomly include. Like, yeah, why would it matter if Moore intercepted him first? Like, why mention that at all?
And wasn't she like the lover of one of the old queens?
Oh, maybe it's trying to plant that, but that's still so weird. Like, it's been 500 years. Get over it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean. Like, actually, like she doesn't know that person.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I don't know. It was just weird to like plant the like Moore had intercepted him first, but then I got the information from Rhys. Like, kind of, I'm just like whatever. But Rhys is keeping her in the loop, I guess. But yeah, he's broody and cold. He's like. He's a moody. He's our emo boy.
And why is he upset that he found a barrier?
Because he can't do his job.
But that is his job, is to find the barrier.
Exactly. They won't let me into spy.
I feel like it's like mad that like, you know, like if you work at a coffee shop and someone asks for like a slightly annoying drink, you're like, how could you ask for that drink? I don't like making it. And I'm like, what do you mean? This is what you do. You find the barrier, you figure out how to bust through it. If anything, I would think that, oh, it's a tricky barrier. I have to do some research to. I thought it'd be fun. But he's like annoyed.
But not only that, like, what kind of barrier is this in the mortal realm? Like,
Oh,
maybe,
it's some kind of magical barrier for
and that's
sure.
what I mean. So, like, he shouldn't be brooding. He should be like, what the fuck? Like, why is there a magical barrier around a mortal queen's thing? Like, what kind of magic do they have? Are they gifted it? Are they in alliance with somebody? Like, he should be up for this challenge. He should be like, hell yeah. Like, I don't want it
Yeah.
to be easy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I
I
don't know.
mean, or, you know,
He's
she could,
pined after more for 500 years. Boy likes a challenge. What's going on here? What's he actually brooding about?
yeah. Or maybe he just likes to brood and be in a bad mood because
Maybe
he's
he's
been pining over her for 500 years and he
yeah,
just
or maybe
wants to be
he stopped
grumpy.
off at Autumn Court and didn't get any of that heiress dick, and that's what he's brooding over. Who
Yeah.
knows?
I don't know. Yeah, or maybe more like grilled him about it and was like,
Could be.
you know, he's in a bad mood because he talked to her first. But anyway, yeah, I thought it was a really weird detail to just put in there for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just sort of assume like anyone in this inner circle can get info, and it's not like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. The order does not matter to me, and I would never have ever thought to think about it. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
I would just assume that Rhys told you because he got told at some point.
Well, and how does she know this, right? Azriel comes
Yeah.
back, and then what does she watch him go in and talk to Moore and then come out and talk to Rhys, and then she goes in to talk to Rhys? Or does Rhys say, like, oh, Azriel said that there's a barrier and like he's already talked to Moore, like, or whatever. Like, there's
Yeah, it's weird.
and was that a private conversation? Like, what's going, like, I need some scenes with just Azriel and Moore, just a little conversation between them. Like, what's going on between you two?
I think this is a very good place to lay a brick. This is a brick, and it's gonna go somewhere. Or it is just the weirdest fucking. No, it has to be a brick. It has to
Yeah,
be a
yeah,
brick.
yeah, yeah. This is some foreshadowing. Something's happening here.
Yeah, I'm excited. Because Moore's got secret castles and blah blah blah. You know.
I wrote, at some point since I'd last looked, despite the sunny winter day, they removed their leather jackets and shirts, and I wrote next to it, hot.
Uh huh. She is very excited.
As she should be. Yeah, and their tan muscled arms were both covered in the same manner of tattoos that adorned my own hand and forearm. And later on, she says, I realized I had Illyrian markings on me.
Mm-hmm.
But I wrote, could these be word marks?
I definitely think so. I mean, because Cassian says we get the tattoos when we're initiated as Illyrian warriors for luck and glory on the battlefield. Fields. And I'm just like, why? I mean, I don't know. It reminds me of Aelin getting her tattoos. Because what the tattoo that Rowan gave her specifically was like a shield or gets her home or something.
Originally, it was just to tell her story. So she
But
wrote
he
down
put
her
some
story
secret
and
shit
all
in
of.
there. Yeah.
He put word marks in it.
But what did the word marks specifically do? I don't know why I can't remember. They helped her in like the final battle, but I forget why.
They call her. They call her back home. They allow her to travel through the gates to get back home.
Oh, because she crosses the okay.
Yeah, because because Mala, I think, says follow the word marks, or like follow whatever.
Okay, gotcha.
Because the word marks are the language of the cauldron, but they're the language of travel.
And Bryce's tattoo, that just gives her, what is it?
That has the horn in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Which allows her to open up gates, but it's written in the Asteries language.
A different language. Okay.
But the Asteri created the Illyrians, so what if it's also because
we don't know if Illyrian runes are Siri or word marks.
Well, and we don't even know if these are words etched there, but because they're markings, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know if it's a language or if it's just like a marking, right? Because like there could be symbols or just like the ways in, like, you know, it's like this is how you mark your skin for, you know, it's like fucking fancy tiger stripes.
I mean, they could be just fucking tattoos, but I'm thinking,
yeah, but
there's so much precedent for tattoos and this power and like they're linked to the Asteri.
Yeah, and Feyre's tattoos have always been called whirls and swirls, just like word marks are described. So
yeah, and So anyway, I think definitely possibly word marks or the Asteri language.
Yeah. But then at the same
some power
time,
in them either way.
because then I feel like Amryn would have said something, because when Amryn
Oh,
sees
true.
Bryce's tattoo, she says, "Why do you have the holy tongue written on you?" And the holy tongue now is the Illyrian marks. Or not, no, sorry.
Right.
The Asteri's language is the holy tongue, because it's the book of the breathing language. So you would think that at the Illyrian marks, she would recognize that as like, oh, the Illyrian marks are also the holy tongue.
True.
But
And then
like, we don't hear that.
if the Asteri created the Illyrians, but they have word marks on them, that is weird. So maybe they are just regular fucking tattoos. But I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Well, maybe it's like
this seems
how
something.
tribal works, right? Where it's like it's the shapes and the flow and like the things that like do like, that kind of works for tribal, that has meaning for it, but it's not like an actual language.
Oh yeah, I mean, I assumed
Yeah.
something like that, but I just am more interested in like in what do these because why are the Illyrian warriors so powerful? They're so highly regarded.
Not
Maybe
only,
because they have like magic in their tattoos.
but not only that, the bargain she makes with Rhys leaves Illyrian marks on her, and he says it's a tradition of my court for bargains to be made into tattoos. But you're like, I guess the Illyrians are kind of they're of the Night Court, I guess, but kind of
Yeah, they
also
are.
not. I
Maybe
don't
he
know. It's
meant
just,
it's an Illyrian tradition to do that. Well, no, he
yeah, I
does
don't
say
know.
court. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's something to keep an eye on for sure.
I love this. Rhys is out of shape and won't admit it, but Azriel is too polite to beat him into the dirt. And she's like, Rhys looked anything but out of shape. Horny little bitch.
Yes, yeah. Oh yeah, and she had just that was right after she gets her little painting idea,
Mm-hmm.
her sparks starting to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Um and
This
yeah.
is sweet though, that like my tattoo, I realized, had been made with Illyrian markings, perhaps Rhys's own way of wishing luck and glory while facing Amarantha. And you're like, that's cute, but
Yeah.
I think there's more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that tattoo seemed weirdly sentient as well. So that has some magic in it for sure.
This is how much Zodiac Academy is in my head. So this next part, Cassian filled a glass for himself and clinked it against mine, so at odds from the brutal taskmaster who moments ago had me walking through punches, hitting his sparring pads, and trying not to crumple on the ground to beg for death. So at odds from the male who had gone head to head with my sister, unable to resist matching himself against Nesta's spirit of steel and flame. Sorry, I also steel and flame is interesting.
Yes.
But I just said Gemini. You a little two-faced.
What is Cassian? Yeah.
Cassian's a Gemini for sure.
He seems like a Capricorn.
He could
right?
be.
Or
But I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's funny.
But yeah, I'm like, I was just like, oh, that's fun. Like, but he has like two sides, right? He has his like working
Yes.
warrior side, and then he has like his, just fucking around, being a dude.
Although to be fair, I feel like he doesn't really love his warrior personality. It's more just like he'd prefer to be joking around all the time. But then when it comes down to it, he's like, let's fucking go. But yeah. I also think it's funny how this entire conversation, Feyre clearly is noticing that Rhys and Azriel are listening.
Yep. Do we think it's Azriel who stumbles? Because Cassian says, when are you going to talk about how you wrote a letter to Tamlin telling you left for good? And she goes, how about when you talk about how you tease and taunt more to hide whatever it is you feel for her? A beat of crunching steps and clashing blades behind us stumbled, then resumed. Do you think it's Azriel who stumbled, or do you think it's Rhys?
I think it could be both, but I think Rhys is the one who's like, let's hear what they're talking about. Like, he's the one who's really listening. Yeah. Also, I am wondering, like, okay, so if she has Fae hearing now and she can hear very quiet things, you think she would be able to more effectively be quieter so that
she's being loud on purpose. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But it's interesting because you'd think, like, I don't know.
I like that he kind of gets pissed off though, because he says old news. She goes, I have a feeling that's what she probably says about you. And he's like, get back in the ring. No core exercises, just fits. You want to mouth off, then back it up. And I'm like, are you mad at that comment, or are you like like just trying to be like Jim Bro, you know, where it's just like, you want to talk
I
shit,
think it's a little
okay,
bit of.
yeah,
I think it's like maybe he's a little bit like surprised or caught off guard or maybe slightly annoyed, but not like really. I think it's
yeah.
mostly Jim Bro. Um,
She says you left for good 3 times. I know you have a 3 times rule. Hmm.
yes.
Um, she knows that he thrashed the manor. She's like, he probably destroyed it. She's like, if the mere mention of him suffocating me had caused him to destroy his study, then this, I'd been frightened by those fits of pure rage, cowed by them. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I know. I knew he cared. He'd probably thrashed the manor in his rage. And then she's worried that they're like gossiping and like joking about her too. Like this is a kind of a good way to feel that, to like show that she's like, are you guys talk about me behind my back? What the fuck? Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because she's like, and the first thing is like, she almost like, yes, Rhys knows. And so he is the person to question, to be like, wait, Rhys told you? Because that's the only person who she knows that knows. But it also feels like a little bit of a like like the beginnings of like a betrayal of like, wait, like, because she didn't go, how did you know? And
Mm-hmm.
again, Rhys is the only one that she knows. So it is a logical place to ask. But she asked specifically, like, Rhys told you? And that's kind of a like,
Yeah.
what? Like, I thought he would keep that to himself. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's my friend. Like, you
Yeah.
know?
And I it's funny that Cassian looks nervous because he's probably nervous that he's like, oh shit, I blew Reese's cover. Ever
Well,
ever the loudmouth.
also, this is weird, right? He informed Azriel, who is monitoring things and needs to know, as told me. That pause feels weird.
Why would Azriel the spy master, this great like whatever, why is he just crack like and telling Cassian like, you know, he's used to keeping
Well,
secrets. Like why he
yeah.
just
I
is
mean,
like, hey, let me
Cassian.
tell you some gossip. I think
I
Reese
mean,
told both of
well,
them,
and
and
that's
Cassian's just covering.
well, and that was the thing. Like, that's what she says. I assumed while you were out drinking and dancing, like, she's like, "Are you guys make fun of me that like this is what you guys talk about when you're fucking dude broing out? Like, fuck off." But and he does say, like, I didn't mean to hit a nerve. Az only told me because I told him I needed to know for my own forces, which makes sense that Cassian should be the one to know. If Tamlin's gonna bring forces, then your general
Oh,
needs to
okay.
know. And then
That's
like
right,
to
yeah.
know what to expect. And then immediately he gets where she's coming from with that comment of like, oh, so you this is what you talk about when you're fucking drinking? And he's like, none of us. We don't think it's a joke. What you did was a hard call, a really damn hard call. It was just my shitty way of trying to see if you needed to talk about it. Which is also like, this is the beginnings of like us seeing that Cassian is the one who is like reaching out his hand, which comes up again, right? When Amren's like, keep reaching
Mm-hmm.
out your hand. Like he does, we get to see this side of him in more of a platonic space. And it's almost like a practice run for like the actual hard nut to crack sister.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, here's his trial run for what he's going to have to go through with Nesta.
Yeah, and it is interesting that he's like emotionally in tune, you know, because a
He
lot of
cares about
people
her
are
for
just
sure. Well, and like
well, and
you
a lot of
def
people just stay away from emotions like this. They're like they'll figure it
yeah.
out, you know. But he's
Well,
like, let
and
me
so
therapize you.
right after this chapter is when you're supposed to read or I guess right after
The
31 is supposed
bonus.
that's when you're supposed to read the bonus chapter. And in the bonus chapter, he's like already speculating that Rhys is falling in love with her and that she might be falling in love with him. So like I think that that's also why he's like, okay, like she's
More invested. He's like, oh,
yeah,
she's
he's
around.
like, that's like my brother is into this girl and she's part of our court and she's part of the inner circle and like he's let her in, so I need to care.
Yeah, yeah, um,
But yeah, he's very quick to embrace the found family aspect of Feyre.
yeah. Which fits his character as well. He would be that guy who's just like, all right, you're one of us now. Let's share our
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, Cassian seems like the friend of my friend is my friend kind of a thing. Like,
Yeah.
you're friends with Rhys. He thinks you're cool. Cool. Let's go. Like, okay, no questions asked.
Yes,
Which is
definitely.
why I can't wait for him to meet Rune. They're gonna be They're gonna have so
Well,
much fun
unless
together.
are they suspicious of? No. I guess they try. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna be fun
Well,
together.
Rhys is not a big fan of Bryce. And when she's coming to collect her parents, like the darkness is like she feels his power like coming. Although he can fucking winnow right away, so I guess flying in seems weird when he can just winnow right there. But
Maybe it was just a power trip.
yeah, they're
He's
like
just
Rhys
trying to
is gonna be
scare
here
her.
soon. You should probably go. And then Amber's like, Rhys will be fine, Cassian. And Bryce is like, Rhys will be what? Like, it's so funny that like Ember just immediately, I want those chapters so bad of just, I want to see them take that stupid pill, and I want to see Randall and Rhys like dad bonding, and I want to see Ember go full Jewish mom on Rhys and Feyre and just be like, oh, I can't wait till Bracey has a little baby. Like, I want her to do all the things. It would be a ton of fun to see those chapters.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. I need to do a reread. I hardly remember Ember. Kind of. I mean, I remember it, but yeah.
Yeah. And then he gets her fighting, like he gets her sparring, right? Punching him.
Yeah.
And that's when she starts to like work through it, right?
Yeah.
And she's thinking about Tamlin, and she's like, I'd loved him. And then this is where like there's some questionable things here, but because this is also something that Rhys has kind of already said to her. So I don't know if it's just like she's finally seeping in. I don't, we don't subscribe to the evil Rhys theory, and I don't think that he's in her brain. I think she's actually processing her shit.
It seems like it's processing.
But like, I had done everything for that love. I had ripped myself to shreds. I'd killed innocents, debased myself, and he had sat beside Amarantha on that throne. And he couldn't do anything, hadn't risked it. Hadn't risked being caught until there was one night left, and all he'd wanted to do wasn't free me, but fuck me. And then she keeps punching again, and she's pissed. And when Amarantha broke me, when she'd snapped my bones and made my blood boil in its veins, he just knelt and begged her. He hadn't killed her, hadn't crawled for me. He did kill her, and he did crawl for you.
Tamlin did? Tamlin
Yeah,
crawled?
he crawled to her.
No, I think Rhys was crawling. Tamlin did kill her, but I think she's talking about before she died. Like, I had to die before,
Mm-hmm. Yes, he'd fought for me, but I fought harder.
Yeah, like Rhys fought Amarantha before Feyre had technically broken the curse, when they didn't have any, like, Rhys was crawling
and it was when
she
his
still had
power got back. That's when Tamlin fought.
Yes.
And Rhys fought with his power still bound.
Yes. That is what she's, and that I noted that she said he didn't crawl for me, because why would she say that? Why? That's a weird thing. She's literally only saying that because Rhys did crawl for her.
Yeah.
And so it's just another direct
I feel
comparison.
like there's a moment, though, where Tamlin does crawl for her. Do I need to grab the book?
You could. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, jeez. 2 seconds.
I'm also maybe gonna check our doc. Yeah. Tamlin did crawl.
Yeah.
Page maybe 401.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 44. What?
It says, A Court of Jealousy and Haters, ACOTAR Chapter 44, or, quote, Amarantha Chiropractic and Holistic Wellness Center.
What is that?
It's the title of an article.
So funny. Yeah, she was just cracking Feyre's back.
Yeah.
Just an adjustment gone wrong.
All right. Well, I don't have the book down here because it's upstairs with my mother-in-law, so I can't find it to confirm.
I wrote down a quote that's the one I read that said, like, Tamlin's green eyes as he crawled to me, some shit like that. Like,
yeah.
So I think he does, but I think Rhys definitely also does. But anyway, I guess she's just lying.
Well, he crawls to Feyre, but he doesn't crawl for her. I don't know. It's a weird inconsistency.
Yeah, especially
And
since we associate crawling with mates specifically.
yeah. Well, and he had the nerve, once his powers were back, to shove me into a cage. The nerve to say I was no longer useful. I was to be cloistered for his peace of mind. He'd given me everything I needed to become myself, to feel safe. And when he got what he wanted, when he got his power back, his lands back, he stopped trying. He was still good, still Tamlin, but he was just wrong. So like there's a little bit of space where she's like, he's not just fucking like he's good, but he's just making poor choices. Like he got what he wanted and then said, I'm gonna do shit my way and not be a partner.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then she starts crying and doesn't care that anybody's there. Interesting. Um and then Azriel and Rhys stop fighting because now they've noticed that she started crying.
Like
And
how
then her
Rhys immediately runs over.
well, yeah, and then her fist I love this part right here. So then my fist connects with bare skin and I realized I punched through the sparring pads. No, burned through them, and I stopped too. The wrappings around my hands were now smudges of soot. This is my favorite part. Cassian's upraised palms remained before me, ready to take the blow if I needed to make it. I'm all right, he said quietly, gently. Like, this is so endearing of Cassian to be like, work through it, babe.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you're not going to hurt me. And even if it's fine, like, do what you got to do.
yeah. That is everyone. Like I feel like
And
that
then
would be.
also, like, you didn't hurt me, but if you need to take the hit, like, I'm here kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then that, and also because he can, right, she's already breaking, and then Cassian's offering up his pain, and then her
Mm-hmm.
thought is, I killed them. And so like he almost knows both. He knows I still need to offer up this. If she still needs this outlet, I'm here. I'll take the beating.
Mm-hmm.
But also he knows that she knows that she didn't hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a
Yeah.
nuanced space to be like, I got you. You didn't hurt me. But if you need to, I'm here.
Well, I think she could have hurt him anyway, and he's just like, I'm
Sure.
just gonna kill you. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's nice that he's there for both, that he's not just like, keep going. I got this. You're fine.
Yeah.
It's like he's
He
he's
has
giving
good
her,
emotional attunement.
yeah, he's like catching both ends of it. He's like, okay, like I'm still here,
Yeah.
but also I'm gonna let you know I'm okay. Like do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Um and then yeah, and then this is also right when she says, I killed them, and then Cassian's lips tighten, I know, and then this is what she needs. Not condemnation, not praise. Because every time she was out in the spring court, they were like, my savior, the curse breaker. And she's like, I fucking killed two innocent people. Like, I get that I set things free and like the end, but like, it's not something to be joyous about. And like when she's talking to like Braun and like the other legionnaires, and they're like, oh, you fucking kicked ass, that was cool, like it was a sporting event, like she hates
Mm-hmm.
that about it. And
Yeah.
she's like, and so the fact that even Cassian is like, he's not condemning her for it, but he is also not being like, hell yeah, you did. Like, no, he's just like, I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And probably one of the best ones, right? And I think that that's where, like, when Rhys in the chapters last week, I think it was, where he's like, I've seen Cassian fucking unleash on enemies and then puke his guts up and even mourn them. So, like, Cassian's the right person to work through this because, like,
Mm-hmm.
Cassian gets it. He's like, yeah, sometimes I kill my enemy and I feel bad about it. Like, I get it.
Well, it also like sorry, not to go back to the emotional attunement, but like that is essentially Tamlin's problem, is that he refuses to engage with her
Yeah.
at all, or he'd be
Yeah.
like, you've done so much, and it's just a refusal to like acknowledge somebody. So by saying I know, and like it's that he's like saying I see you,
Yeah, it's validating her
emotionally.
feelings. It's also
Yeah,
nice to see that she gets this from others in the inner circle too, and it's not
it's
just
not
Rhys,
just
right?
Reese.
It's
Yeah.
not just Rhys that is in tune with this. It's not just Rhys that gives her this comfort and this acknowledgement and this safe place. Like she's truly building others, and like even to see like a friendly, familial, platonic relationship can also be the place that you get this solace.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And then darkness swept it in. No, shade.
uh-huh. I do like how she says Standing there in the cloudless sky, the winter sun beating on my head, nothing around me save for rock, no shadows to hide, nothing to cling to. There it was. It's like she has her moment of recollection, and then immediately, she gets some darkness to cling to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like, I don't know. It's an
And he like
interesting.
completely cocooned them, like.
Mm-hmm.
And right, she's like the darkness sweeps in, soothing and gentle, and she realizes no, he's just wrapped her in his little safe bubble.
Yeah.
Okay. You will feel that way every day for the rest of your life, Rhys says. This close, I could smell the sweat, yada yada, hot, 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 blah blah blah. And I know this because I have felt that way every day since my mother and sister were slaughtered, and I had to bury them myself. So that's a confirmation that his mom and sister were killed, that they are not in the sparkling pool of starlight.
Oh yeah. True. Well, I think all people only thought maybe his sister was, but yeah, it is
That she
confirmation.
wasn't yeeted into another realm and hidden away.
Yeah. She
Right?
was buried. He buried
He
her.
buried them himself.
Yeah.
And even retribution didn't fix it, right? He's like, even going back and killing fucking Tamlin's whole family didn't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting way to go about it, right? Because it's one of those, like, it starts off in a way that you're like, well, that's not helpful, bud. He's like, you're going to feel like this forever. And she's like, okay. And he's like, no, because I feel the same way. Like, I get it. And there's only two options. It can eat you alive and kill you, or you can learn to live with it and fight through it.
Yeah.
And then her immediate response to that is to apologize for his family.
Yeah, which maybe is just a mark of, she feels seen, so she wants to repay that. Yeah, but I thought it was interesting that they both apologized sort of to each other.
Yeah. This is also where it's like those moments where Rhys lets things almost slip a bit too much, right? I'm sorry I didn't find a way to spare you from what happened under the mountain, from dying, from wanting to die. And then he goes on to say, I have two kinds of nightmares, the ones where I'm again Amarantha's whore, or my friends are, and the ones where I hear your neck snap and see the light leave your eyes. That's
a committed man right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of those things, yeah. But it's also,
And then she checks about when he says that. She's like, I can't look at your face, so I'm going to look at your body.
Yeah.
And then they confirm it's Autumn Court is the fire. And then she wonders about Lucian for a minute. And she's noticing that Azriel and Cassian are also trying not to eavesdrop, the little gossipy bitches.
Mm-hmm.
And Rhys offers out the lifeline, right? Day by day, we'll figure this out if need be. And then she asks about his power, and he tells her to summon it. And then there's some banter that Azriel finds to be funny, and so does Cassian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Try thinking of me, how good looking I am, how talented, how arrogant. That too. Put a shirt on while you're at it. And then he's like, do I make you uncomfortable? She's like, I'm surprised there aren't more mirrors in the house since you seem to love looking at yourself so much. And Azriel straight up is like, mm-hmm. And Cassian just turns away, his hand over his mouth. And then, of course, Rhys is like, there she is. All right, we're okay. She's talking shit. We're fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes
very
through
iconic banter.
Yeah, this different kind of darkness. I think it's also a good way to think about Rhys being part Valg, right? The darkness, there's the darkness that frightens, the darkness that soothes, and the darkness that is restful. There's the darkness of lovers, the darkness of assassins. It becomes what the bearer wishes to be, needs it to be. It is not wholly bad or good. And one, it's because he's a bit in tune with it. It's like, what is he getting off of her, right? Because she says, like, and right now, so there was, sorry, I scowled, but I closed my eyes and I tried to look inward towards any dark corner of myself to find. There were too many, far too many. And right now, they all contain the letter I'd written yesterday. And I'm like, can he sense her fear or her, like, apprehension of going into her little dark places in her mind? Can he smell her fear, right? And that's when he offers this, like, darkness isn't all bad. Like, But it's also a good way to think about if he has Valg in him, right? That he's like, it's not wholly good or bad. It's what you need it to be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she still can't summon it, right? I only saw the darkness of the dungeon cell, the darkness of the bone carver's lair. And then Cassian swears. Azriel mutters a soft challenge at their blades striking again, and he says, "Open her eyes." And she says, "And darkness and found darkness all around me, not from me, but from Rhys, as if the sparring ring had been wiped away, as if the world had yet to begin."
Mm-hmm.
And she breathes easy in that space.
Yeah, and darkness has been soothing her for a long time. You know,
Yep.
one of her first things is like the night cooled air in like chapter 5 of Akatar. So it just kind of feels like a return to like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's a very very iconic moment that you really go, okay, Rhys is full on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think people have sensed it, but they're like, oh, this shifted. This is different now.
Yeah. And then he takes his power away and tells her that she smells, and then
Mm-hmm.
she gives him a a particularly vulgar gesture right in front of everybody.
I also thought it's interesting that she's like holding a star. I guess it's just like, but I'm like, what is the star made out of? Or did Rhys is it like a meteorite? Is it just like what? How did he make
Starborn.
this? Is it just like a piece of paper? Like, and I just
No, it's the starborn light. It's starborn.
yeah, but she
Reese star.
flips it on her fingers
Uh-huh.
like a coin. But like real
Mm-hmm.
stars are fucking gas, but blistering hot, blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. So anyway, I'm sure it's just fucking like some shit he made.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to think about, and it's cute. But
The next chapter starts, and we're back in the ring 4 days later or whatever. And this is interesting, right? So Amren's there picking at her nails with a piece of bone, and she's like, she heard you the first 10 times you said it, Cassian. And he says, keep talking, Amren, and I'll drag you into the ring and see how much practice you've actually been doing. We don't ever see Amren fight.
no, but I
So,
feel like she doesn't need to. She's like,
but so what is she practicing? Where does she practice? Who does she practice with? What is she practicing?
I assume just right. Yeah, I
Like,
assume he
I
just
don't need to
expects it
fight
all
with
to work out a little
swords,
bit.
dude. I just like wiggle my fingers and people die. What?
That's funny.
I love that she's making little dick jokes. Cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very like this is that one of those chapters again. It's like, and here's the sitcom vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Here's like the banter at the beginning of the episode before the inciting incident.
This is interesting too. So for 4 days, training with him, working with Rhys afterwards, or trying to summon flame or darkness. Unsurprisingly, I made more progress with the former. Why does she have an affinity to flame? Why does flame come easy? I was like, is it because she's related to Mala?
Could be. Yeah, if she already had, that's interesting. I feel like it's maybe just because she's already conjured flames because she has more access to her anger. Maybe like because she's done flames like 5 times or something.
Yeah, but it's interesting that flames is what comes to her easiest.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I didn't think about it at all.
The High Lady of the Night Court. She's mated to the High Lord of the Night Court. Why is her easiest affinity Autumn Court?
Yeah.
Why is it fire?
True.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like the idea that she has a drop of Mala.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
This Cassian's so fucking sus of Moore. So Moore comes in. Cassian's nostrils flare. Where'd you go the other night? I didn't see you leave Rita's. Who's he smell on her? He smells a girl on her. He's like, who are you fucking?
Oh, yeah. I also thought, like, this is one of those things that could easily seem like, part of the sitcom. Like, oh, this is them joking around, teasing each other about getting laid. But also, it could be genuine suspicion as well, because it's like, oh, you're going places and just disappearing without saying anything to us. Which maybe it's because you're a little hoe, or maybe it's because, you know, we have reason to be suspicious of more, and here's a little
Yeah.
noticeable brick.
And especially with
Yeah.
his nostrils flaring, like him smelling her, he's like, where did you go? Because if it's
Yeah.
right, it's like he doesn't recognize the scent on her. So is it like, did she go to her private estate and there's something about that space? Was she with somebody and he just doesn't recognize the scent? Yeah, it's very strange.
Although, would he be smelling it 2 days later?
Maybe. Maybe she spent 2 days with her. Who knows? That or he's trying to smell something on her and he doesn't. And that's why he's suspicious. He's like, where were you? What were you doing?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, because I would expect him to just be like, who did you take home? Is it
Yeah.
this girl again, or like?
But nobody knows that she's gay.
They know she's gay.
No, they don't.
Feyre's the first person to find out she's gay.
Yep.
No.
Yep. Azriel doesn't know. She doesn't tell him. Nobody knows. Nobody knows that she's into girls to whatever degree she's into girls. She's never told anybody.
I thought that they knew.
Nope. Feyre's the only one who knows.
Okay.
Because there's even moments in that book where like she like gives like there's a little comment that's made and like Moore looks at her like don't say anything.
Okay.
Feyre's like it's not mine to tell. Like they won't hear it from me.
Interesting. Well, I will say that it is also a great cover.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So you could be like, I just too nervous to tell my extremely nice and progressive friends that I'm gay.
Right? Like they're not.
I was just nervous, and that's why.
Going to. Yeah, it's not like they talk shit about Helion liking both men and women. Like they don't give a shit. Yeah. I do like this, right? Because this also reminds me very much of like Bryce and her friends, but they dragged me out 2 nights ago, and I'd spent most of the time sitting in their booth, nursing my wine, talking over the music with Azriel, who'd arrived content to brood, but reluctantly joined me in observing Rhys holding court at the bar. Females and males watched Rhys throughout the hall, and the Shadow Singer and I made a game of betting on who exactly would work up the nerve to invite the High Lord home, and he makes a comment about that later when they're in their little flirting moment. So we'll come back to that.
I think that's I did not remember this at all. That they were just like she just watching Rhys flirt with people. I guess she calls it holding court. But he's probably just schmoozing and talking with people and stuff. But she's watching which this is such a game.
Yeah, she's watching which one of them being like, oh, High Lord, come on, and she's like. Her and Azriel are placing bets on which ones are gonna like invite him back to bed. So she's already paying attention to like who is Rhys attracted to, who's attracted to Rhys. Is he gonna take somebody like we're out at a bar? Is he gonna take somebody home? And then she even asks, right? So she says Rhys didn't accept any offers that came his way, no matter how beautiful they were. Not that you would necessarily know. He could have gone back to his house and fucking windowed from his bedroom like a teenager, but whatever. How they smiled and laughed, and his refusals were polite, firm but polite. How do you possibly know that that's you can't hear him in a loud bar, but okay.
Maybe she can. Maybe like her Fae hearing, she can just strike if she like really concentrates. She can just pick it out.
Or she's like, Azriel, what did he say?
Or maybe they're like 2 feet away. Yeah. He's like just sitting at the edge of the booth, and they're just talking about him right there.
And then she thinks this: had he been with anyone since Amarantha? Did he want another person in his bed after her? Even the wine hadn't given me enough nerve to ask Azriel about it. You want to know what Rhys wants. She's like, has he been with anybody else? Does he want anybody else? Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm. She's thirsty.
Yep.
It also, the next line, more, it seemed I underlined twice, went to read us more than anyone else, practically lived there, actually. She shrugged at Cassian, and another she's appeared, like Amren's appeared. I just went out, she said.
Even her answer, I just went out.
Yeah, again, the great cover is that I was scared to tell my extremely loving and accepting friends that I was gay. Great cover. But also it really works both ways. And to me it reads as more suspicious because you know these people for 500 years and you can't tell. No,
come on. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, ugh, I don't want to
Well,
like say. I don't
and,
know.
and
Whatever.
he says you didn't tell Azriel either, and then she like her and Cassian already have the like where they can communicate silently together, like besties can,
Mm-hmm.
like we can when we're on Zoom calls as teachers, right? I
Mm-hmm.
paused, weighing the words. Cassian's stiff shoulders. Yes, there was some tension between him and Moore that resulted in that bickering, but perhaps Cassian accepted the role of buffer not to keep them apart, but to keep the Shadow Singer from hurt, from being old news, as he called it. And then um, Cassian finally remembered I'd been standing in front of him, noted the look of understanding on my face, and gave me a warning one in return. Like, don't go there, you know?
Yeah. It's almost like he's like, hey, don't be listening to my conversation I'm having right in front of you.
Well, that or don't say it, because she says, noted the look of understanding on my face and gave a warning one back, where he's like, watch it. Like, they don't
Mm-hmm.
need to know that that's what I'm doing. And then we have our foreshadowing. For a heartbeat, I wish Nesta were here, if only to see them go head to head. She'll be there, babe. Don't worry.
She will go head to head.
Yep. And then I don't have anything until I wrecked one building. And
Yeah. I mean, I just thought.
he's banned for eternity. Like, fuck.
Probably an important building. Before that, I just thought it was funny that, like, Cassian and Amaranth's little, like, it's again more comfy, cozy,
Yeah.
establishing the vibe, sitcom thing
Well,
with
and you see
them,
that he's willing
gonna fight.
to, yeah, and like of all the people to be, like she's like everyone's afraid of Amryn, but like here's Cassian being like drop and give me 20, and she's like fuck off, like
Yeah. Well, it
yeah,
shows that he's not like they're actually friends,
yeah,
like
exactly.
but anyway, so yeah. But yeah, for all eternity.
This
It's
seems
probably an important building.
this seems like kind of a dick move on Rhys's part. Like I get that he's trying to convince Amryn to come, and he knows that Amryn's currency is literally fucking jewels and gold, but it seems like such a dick move of Rhys to be like, there's also a great deal of treasure to be found in the summer court. If the book is hidden, Amryn, you might find other objects to your liking. And even Cassian calls it out. He's like, really, Rhys? It's bad enough we're stealing from them. We're going to rob them blind too? Like, it seems like a dick move to be like, Amryn, why don't you go steal some jewels? Fuck it. Like, it doesn't seem very diplomatic. Like
I
I
think
get
that's just because like they're fucking rich ass fae who a jewel or two doesn't matter to them, and they'll just be like, I feel like it's like billionaires talking about stealing $5 from each other. Like
that's
who
fair.
fucking cares? But it is arrogant
Or
of him. It makes him seem like he's entitled and like overconfident, and
it
just
also offers up some questionable morals, but it could also just be that he's trying to get Amryn not to push back. Like he needs her to come, and so he's like, whatever, I'll fucking you can go do what you do then too. It's fine. I'll turn a blind eye.
And I don't think she actually steals anything, or
Yeah.
I mean, if you count Varian, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
she's stealing some family jewels there, but that's it.
Yeah. And then Rhys is sending him to the human realm, which is interesting.
For the bonus chapter.
Uh-huh. The summer court has banned you for eternity, and though your presence would be a good distraction while Feyre does what she has to do, it could lead to more trouble than it's worth. Eternity. That's insane. Like, fuck, okay.
It is.
And then this is also like, we'll find out without your swaggering and growling at everyone. This is what Amryn says. Their High Lord owes Rhys a favor for saving his life under the mountain and keeping his secrets. The secrets about
that
they were trying to rise
inspiring.
up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But also that shows that Rhys let Amryn know, like he's talked to her about what happened under the mountain. At least to some extent. That he told her about this moment.
I assume they told them about big stuff in the courts like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, it kind of said, it seemed, it
could have come up when
it sounded like they hadn't talked about it at all, right?
Yeah, and it could have come up when they were like, "How do you think that he'll like invite you in?" And Rhys could have said the same thing, like, "Well, he owes me a favor for saving him and keeping, like,
Yes.
maybe she's just reiterating that and doesn't know the extent of it, but
Oh, and I think he could talk about like the winter's children being killed and like all the atrocities that happened, and just maybe he hasn't talked about his personal
yeah.
like struggle, like the things that happened to him only, but the, you know, the inner court conflicts and the things that happened to everyone are probably like easier to talk about.
Mm-hmm. And Cassian's worried about Feyre too, or maybe even just about like what people are going to think of their court. Maybe he's thinking more about the night court and what it means for them. But it sounds like he's worried about Feyre, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's one thing to have her here, even when everyone knows it. It's another to bring her to a different court and introduce her as a member of your own.
Mm-hmm. And then
Rhys doesn't respond to that, right? And then she's like, "Oh, the message I left for Tamlin," and then she says, "But Rhys was done." He inclined his head to Amryn and strode away to the open archway. Like, he doesn't respond.
I think he doesn't want to think
Cassian's
about it, and I think he's like, "Hey, I'm nervous about that, so shut up. We can't be talking about
well,
that."
Or it goes into the space of like, it's one thing to do this, but now, you know, like, now you're gonna take her and show her off, and like, he can't be like, "Dude, it's fine. She's my mate." Because Moore's the one who says leave it. And because Moore knows that's his mate. So like maybe that's why she's like,
well, and but the people like, still won't know that she's his mate yet.
True, but like that's maybe that's the answer when Cassian asks that. Maybe Rhys's actual answer would be, well, they're gonna have to get over it because she's my mate.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, I don't give a shit what they think because I'm not giving her up, kind of a thing. Like, he doesn't have a good answer for it, so he just doesn't answer it because he knows that goes into the realm of exposing their mate bond, and that's when Moore's like, leave it alone, Cass. Like, don't go there.
Yeah.
So So she comes up and says, "Any more traps I should know about before we go tomorrow?" And he goes, "Here, I was thinking your notes the other night indicated you'd forgiven me." So like already joking about like now a little flirty, a little whatever. And then I took in that half grin, the chest I might have suggested I'd licked and had avoided looking at for the past 4 days, although you didn't avoid looking at it because you looked at it a lot in the last chapter, and halted a healthy distance away. One would think a High Lord would have more important things to do than pass notes back and forth at night. And then he says, "I do have more important things to do, but I find myself unable to resist the temptation the same way you can't resist watching me whenever we're out." So territorial. And that's the callback to when she says that she watched him hold court and watched people offer and like making bets with Azriel. Like, he was well aware that she was paying attention to what he was doing that night.
Yeah. And I feel like territorial is also a mate word. It's like a little hint. Like, you're being territorial over your mate. Although I don't think she knows about mates that much. Does she know about mates before?
She does, because she's waiting to see if she's Tamlin's, and it doesn't happen.
Oh, right. Duh. She's waiting to see. That's funny. Yeah.
But then, right, and instead of being like she could have been like, "I wasn't watching you," or "I'm not territorial," or whatever. Or she could have been like, "Is that why you didn't go home with anybody? Because you didn't want me to see?" Like, there's no accusation, right? She goes straight into flirting with him, fighting with him. It was easy, fun. Maybe I deserve both of those things. So then she leans into the flirting. "You haven't been able to keep it away from me since Callum Nye, it seems." And that's when, right, something rippled in his eyes that I couldn't place, because she's calling back to the day that he said, "There you are, I've been looking for you." And almost like a recognition of like, yeah, you're right. Like, that was I was looking for you then. Like, he's like, you know, he like manufactured a reason to go because he'd gotten glimpses of her vision of what she was seeing and knowing that she was going to be in spring court. And so he made it to where Amarantha would let him go.
Yeah.
And we know how big of that plays once we get to chapter 54. And so, like, he's already like, fuck, yep. And then he covers it up quickly and says, "I can't wait to see what that sharp tongue of yours can do in the summer court."
Like, flicks her nose. I think that's so funny.
Yeah, I think that Rowan does that a lot to Aelin. And I know that Hunt does it to Bryce.
Oh, it's so funny.
But yeah, so there's some flirting, and she's like, you know what? Flirting and fighting with him is fun. Fuck it. I'm gonna lean into this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right after
Bees
I've
fixing my
burned
mouth.
Yeah, right after I'm throwing fireballs because I'm still mad at Tamlin. Fuck it, I'll flirt with this guy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, this is one of those moments I always think about, like, she feels so guilty. But, like, she also is, like, you know, like, there are still moments, I think, coming up where she's like, how could I do this to Tamlin, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But she's feeling less
I don't know if
guilty,
she
for
so
sure.
much thinks, like, how can I do it to Tamlin, but I think she starts to question, like, I think it's almost like a self-slut shaming moment where she's just
Mhm.
like, I was just with this other guy. I was gonna marry him, and now I'm fucking here with this dude. Like, that didn't take long for me to fucking reset. And I think it's a little bit of that, of like, this might be too fast. But then I think it also turns into a like, well, how much did I actually love him if I'm willing to move on this quickly?
Uh-huh.
And feels guilty about that and starts questioning that kind of stuff. I don't know if she feels like, what would Tamlin think right now? I think it's just more of that like self-guilt, like, is this
Yeah.
am I being a little sleut right now? Sleut it up. Um
Salute.
but yeah, look at us. 2 chapters in less than an hour. We're getting
Hell
shit
yeah.
done.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's a cute, yeah, and it's a cute like 2 chapters that gives you some, I mean, super theorizable questions about what's going on with like the Moor and Azriel and all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
nice like bond building with the other members of the inner circle, not just
And with
because
Rhys.
it's
These are very iconic, big moments in
yes,
their relationship. Like,
yes,
oh, I had an emotional outburst and you comforted me. And, like,
yeah.
it feels very intimate.
And it's a good shift too, and it's kind of a good lull period for the readers to like get, because you have to like mix up the like high stakes, lots going on, lore building, all the things with like these softer moments that like keep us drawn into these characters and the relationships between them. But it also feels like it's a good sort of turning point between the first quarter of this book into this next like stage, this next trial, I guess, of it's like, okay, now we're shifting gears, now we're going to a different court, things are changing, like you get the tonal shift of like, oh, okay, things are progressing into a next stage,
Yeah. Yeah.
and healing is beginning in a new way.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. It feels like the start of Act 2, honestly. Which we were kind of talking about last time too.
Yeah, it does.
It feels like the start of the fun and games.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what Summer Court is. I mean, we have an
I mean,
actual
I would
thing
say
to do,
this
but
is
yeah,
fun and games as well. A montage.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
A training montage.
Yeah. So next week we're in the spring court, right? Sorry, summer court. Summer court.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
I think it's the next 3 or 4 chapters we're in Summer Court.
Cool. And we are doing just 1 chapter next time?
Yeah, 32 is 307 to 316, and 33 is 317 to 324. So yeah, it'd be a lot. Well, we could do 2 chapters. It would be like math 15 pages. Yeah, we could do 2 chapters if you want. So yeah, next week we'll do not 32 and 33, or we are doing them together.
Yeah, we'll do them together.
32. So next week we'll do 32 and 33 in the summer courts. And yeah.
To the stars who listen, we'll see you next week.